You really can't have anybody any better than our next guest to talk about that, whose name is John Stivers. John is well known in the prescribed fire circle. I'm sure many of you have come across him in your work. Just tell you a little bit about his background. He spent 19 years with the Forest Service in silviculture area. He spent an additional 4 years with the Forest Service in fire and aviation. And then also, he's been a private forestry consultant for 18 years in Alabama and Georgia. That makes him 89 years old, but he doesn't look it at all, I don't think. The other thing that you need to know, he's very involved in the Prescribed Fire Council in Alabama. He's a certified burn manager. He has taught the courses for the Alabama Forestry Commission related to prescribed fire for about 15 years. And then, I got to hear more about he's the owner of Fire Ignition Resources, LLC. It's a distributor of Primo aerial ignition and fireballs. Okay, so that's got to be real interesting. And also, I just want to let you know, he volunteers with Gideon International and also lives in the Talladega area. So, John?
Thank you. I too appreciate the chance to come share about the PBA. So, first of all, these are the 25 counties we're in. Now, I know we're up in Lakes Gunnersville. We're not in the 25 county area, but I'll touch on that a little bit. This is the first PBA in Alabama, and so the 25 counties are highlighted there. Now, it doesn't mean we want to see other PBAs across the state. Now, the way we're set up, as other PBAs establish, they can come under our umbrella. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So as we move forward, setting the example, kicking the big rocks out of the way, it's going to grease the skids for any county in the state, or even a half a county, to come under the umbrella. So don't feel like we're discriminating against the rest of the state. We're in the middle now, just because there's a lot of activity there. I'm just so proud of the guy that came up with this logo. It wasn't me. But how cool is that? It's a drip torch that looks like the state of Alabama with the state flag across the middle of the state. There's all these subliminal messages. The only thing we lack is having Governor Ivy on an ATV riding by setting fire off the four-wheeler. So this is our mission. It's really simple. It's just association members pulling resources to expand, and that's a key word, expand, the safe use of fire. Okay? So here's what we do that's different. We're trying to purposely target underserved landowners. I'm talking about small tract sizes, okay? For example, somebody might have 25 acres and like, I can't get anybody interested in 25 acres. The math doesn't work. It's way too expensive. And so the PBAs, this isn't about a free burn. The PBA, and I'll describe it in a minute, it's about hooking these small landowners together where they can get their treatments done as well efficiently. And everybody's going to bring some to the party. So again, we burn for a lot of reasons. We do site prep burns. So you might have a site prep burn that you need done. You can't find Forestry Commission to do it because they're busy or it's too small, or a consultant won't touch it. So the PBA is going to be an avenue that you'll reach out, and I'll talk about the process to try and find a way of getting this done. Now, like anything, we got to plan this in advance. You can't call us tomorrow and do the burn next Tuesday, okay? It's going to take a little bit longer time. But that's the purpose. If you need help on a site prep burn, maybe you got people, you got the lines in, you just need some drip torches, a blower, and some smoke signs. We're going to have trailers and equipment that we're going to be able to help landowners. That way, you guys don't have to go buy a blower or buy an ATV with a power torch on it, or a rake or a flap, or even radios to use. The PBA is going to have these things that you can have access to. And again, it's all about getting fire put on the ground efficiently. And so it might be the old school way, walking a torch through the woods, or we might be lighting it at 30 miles an hour off an ATV. And it's also about everybody bringing something to the table. This is an example where there's like 3 people out there dragging a torch, where maybe that's a landowner and 2 of his neighbors. So when we burn, say, on Hayes' place, he might bring some to the party. He might pay for the fire lines and send his wife and 3 kids out there to help. Or he might buy lunches and drinks. And then the neighbor who joins that, we're going to burn across 2 different owners, they have some skin in the game. So we're going to be real flexible on how do we get this done. But the point is, it's not a free burn. okay? It's about burning safely, efficiently, and landowners helping each other, stitching these smaller properties together. And at the end of the day, I mean, we all burn. I'm telling you, it's fun, okay? It's licensed pyromania, okay? Now, you don't have to be a certified burn manager. But when we do this thing, it's going to be run by a certified burn manager as the burn boss. The burn plan is going to be done under our template, so you don't have to be a certified burn manager. You don't have to write the burn plan. We're going to bring these things to the table, and so we'll size it. Maybe this burn you need 4 people, this one you need 10. We're going to help you through that process, so when it's go time, it's just going to come off like it's supposed to, very efficiently and safely. And at the end of the day, everybody's happy. You're tired, you're whipped, you're bleeding, you're scratching, you're like, God, that was fun, I can't wait to do it again. So here's our purpose, mainly as a PBA. We want to have a legal mechanism where all interested members, so when you become a member, and it's not hard, we'll talk about that in a minute. Lee Stuckey, go ahead and raise your hand. Lee, you saw him out in the hall earlier. He's one of our coordinators. We have 2. So we'll show you how to do that. But it's a legal mechanism where you don't have to go through all this rigmarole. You're just going to be under our umbrella, and we got it from there. It's also going to promote an increase in acres treated annually. That's a good thing. We do a lot of burning in Alabama, but not near enough. And it's going to be done professionally and safely. It's going to increase people's confidence and capacity. Fire is a little scary by most people, and that's okay. You shouldn't be afraid of it. You should have respect for it. But as you do more and more, particularly helping somebody on a burn, you get a little more confident, you're not afraid of it. And if you really want to go for extra credit, you become a certified prescribed burn manager in Alabama. We teach courses throughout the year, and it doesn't mean you have to do that legally to burn, but you're going to learn what's behind the veil. Okay, you're going to understand the science, and as long as you apply the science, there's not going to be a surprise. Nobody's phone's going to ring. It's going to come off like it's supposed to. So these are all of the purposes of why we even exist as a PBA. We're a new thing, okay? PBAs are pretty common in the Midwest, West Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, where these large ranchers, big ranchers, and they hate cedar trees. They're growing old cows. So they want to kill cedar trees. So they're burning to keep the woody stuff beat down so they have grass for the cattle. So it's the same concept, one big rancher helping another. We're just taking the opposite approach. We want to go after the little guys that never get any love and help stitch them together where everybody gets the treatment done, whether it's site prep, fuel reduction, burning for deer, turkey, whatever. And so it's also going to set the bar for the PBAs in the Southeast. Since we're a new thing, we want to do this like really, really well. So the state of North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, everybody else looks to us and say, wow, that's the way to do it. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So no matter what your objective, maybe you have young longleaf pine stands, NRCS cost share gig, and you're like, I can't find anybody to burn my 25 acres of 2-year-old longleaf or 8-year-old longleaf. Then the PBA is going to be an outlet on how to get that done. So we don't care what the objective is. Keeping young stands open and grassy, good wildlife habitat, fuel reduction, maybe a pre-merged loblolly stand, backing the fire through that stand so Billy Bob doesn't light you up on a bad fire day and blow up your timber stand. It'll be done professionally. It won't be your deal. We're going to be doing this with professionals. Or maybe your objective is punishing some hardwood. In a thin pine stand, the sweet gum's starting to take over, and you want to spank it. So we're going to go out there and burn in May, June, July, and really punish that hardwood. So that kind of quality professional burn, that's what we're going to bring to the table. The expertise with your help and your skin in the game. It might be stroking a check. It might be in-kind services. But bottom line, whether you got 200 acres or 10 acres like that, we're going to help you get her done. Or maybe it's a maintenance burn, where it's in good shape and you want to keep it in good shape. You're going to burn it every 2 years. Again, the PBA is going to be a tool in your chest. So this is why it's important. We want to expand the safe use. And again, safe use is the emphasis. And you can read, I want to go quicker, but we want to encourage more practitioners to become certified. You don't have to. But when you learn more about it, you're not afraid. You understand what's behind the veil. When the humidity goes down or a certain time of the year, here's why this does that. If you're burning in litter or grass systems or pine straw, so you'll understand the science. So again, even if your objective is different, like maybe burning through upland hardwood, if you don't know what you're doing, you can really hurt a hardwood stand, but applied correctly, this is where the PBA, right in the burn plan, is going to come up with a prescription. How do I get fire off of that hill without ripping that hardwood stand? Well, you don't have to worry about it. We're going to have that handled in the burn plan, and it will be implemented according to the plan. Pushing in fire lines. We want to minimize how much line's constructed. If we have 3 landowners doing a joint burn, we don't have to put in every fire line. We might just pick the west line and the east line. We're going to put our arms around that and minimize how much constructed fire line needs to get put in, because we want to safely contain the fire. So that's part of the analysis that the PBA is going to do through the planning phase, where you don't have to worry about all those gory details. We'll have that smoked out. So here's a couple of goals that we got. We're in our 2nd year now, just got through the 1st year, and we're trying to outfit 3 burn trailers. 25 counties from Mississippi to Georgia, that's a big chunk of land. So we want to have a trailer in West Alabama, Central Alabama, and East Alabama. So if someone needs a trailer, we don't have to move it all the way across the state. We've got 1 trailer now, got a grant for a 2nd one, and we're gunning for a 3rd one with all of the toys that go in it. So our goals are things like increasing membership. And we're not here to shake you down for your lunch money, okay? But we need members. And $100 for a 3-year membership. I mean, you got that in the seat cushions of your truck outside, okay? Or rob your grandkids with a couple of Happy Meals every other month, and you got that covered. But bottom line, if we have capital, we can buy stuff. We can use drones. We can kind of take it to another level. So we're not just looking for money. I mean, we are. But being a member, you're not going to get your property burned unless you're a member. You got to bring something to the table. So your membership buys stuff. So we're doing pretty good on our goals. And you can never start too soon. This is Jonathan Smith. He's a very successful logger down in Chambers County. We did some piles for him one night, and he had 3 little boys. And I mean, they all told him, "Daddy, I want a drip torch for Christmas." I mean, that little guy's like 4 years old. Then when they saw the 4-wheeler, they upped the ante. Now they want a 4-wheeler with a burn tank. But we got to start them early to say fire is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. People have been drinking the Smoky Bear Kool-Aid for way too many years. Fire needs to be respected. So start early. We want to have these other little cool toys. I mean, we talked about the drones, and this is mine personal. I got a pyro shot. If I don't want to walk down some snake-infested hill, I can chunk those balls. It's like a paintball gun, only you're shooting spheres. It ejects it, chunks the ball 300 feet, starts a spot fire. Save you from humping hills. So as we get more stuff, we can have more toys that can help us be more effective to get more fire done quicker in a 1-day burn window. All right, so our out-year goals is clearly to increase our membership and sponsors, see other PBAs start in other places. I'm just going to go quicker because you can look at the website. Buy stuff, have toys, maintain properties like this with fire for landowners. And granted, this ain't a little guy. This is about a 3,000-acre landowner in Macon County. And just a fun fact, we burn that every year. It's a quail plantation. He wants it burned every year. And we burn that in 1 day. 2,834 acres with 2 guys and 2 4-wheelers. But the intent is it's done safely and professionally because you can go fast in a grass savanna system. And so whether it's a 25-acre or a 2,500-acre tract, it doesn't matter. We just want to help landowners get more fire professionally put on the ground and bring things to the table. Maybe you have young longleaf stand and you're afraid to burn it. You don't know how to do it. You don't want to blow up the stand. We'll help you with that. And I'm talking about burning morning, noon, and night. We do a lot of night burns. We can burn, there's 12 months out of the year we need to burn every month, not just February. So again, part of the PBA's goal is through planning is to find the best window to burn. And let's not overlook night opportunities, burning in May, June, July, the non-traditional months. How to mainly own your smoke. You know, when you burn up to the road, you're like, what if smoke gets on the road? Well, it ain't going to get on the road because I got a south wind and we lit it a certain way where it pulls away from the road. You put up smoke signs, you do things a certain way professionally, and your legal risk is 0. Now, you as an individual, if you're burning a mile against a highly traveled paved road, you're probably puckered up, right? We're not puckered up. Now, it's not because we're bold. It's like we understand the science and we're going to make that happen safely because we don't want to get anybody hurt. But we don't want to push a fire line a mile parallel to a road. That's kind of stupid. I'd rather just burn that sucker out to the pavement. But we're going to do it right to where the motoring public is not going to have a problem. And again, don't overlook a night opportunity. These are some of our current sponsors. We're always looking for more sponsors. And again, that's money. We're not shaking you down. Your money buys stuff and helps us fund these things. And as you can see, we have quite a range of sponsors. Now, to be a sponsor, it's either gold, silver, or bronze. And you'll see this on the website. I mean, you get something for that. And it doesn't have to be stroking a check. We have some things like the Clay County Forestry Planning Committee. We got some old drip torches from the U.S. Forest Service, retrofitted them and donated 8 torches and met the in-kind services of $500. So Clay County is a sponsor, and they didn't even have to write a check. We just brought some in-kind services. So we're open for that, provided we don't have 812 drip torches. We don't need that many. We'll let you know what we need. So it can be stuff. All right, so being a member, it's $100. It's good for 3 years. Here's the kind of things that you get for that. Again, it's all on the website, and it's a real easy one to remember. It's alabamapba.org, okay? Or you could Google Central Alabama, but just alabamapba.org, and all this stuff is on there. Now, one other quickie, I'm not going to go through all this, but when we get going good, we're going to have a lot of competition. A lot of people, oh, do me, do me, do me. Well, we're going to evaluate these. Remember, the number one thing is, are you a smaller landowner? And if you are, you get more points. Are you going to use the VFD? If so, you get more points. Is this an NRCS cost share gig? If so, you get more points. So we're going to kind of weight these things. We're going to take care of everybody we can, but I wanted to aim purposely for people that fit these kind of niches. And if you don't, it doesn't mean you won't get treated. It just might be your 5th in line instead of 1st. But bottom line, at the end of the day, we want to get more fire put on the ground. This is an example of a landowner in Chambers County, had a 14-year-old stand. We were fixing to thin it. It hadn't been burned in 14 years. And it had litter that deep. He's hunched over because, there's vines. And most people would say, you can't do that, without blowing up the stand. It's like, oh yeah, hold my beer. Watch this. Well, guess what? We did it on a day when the humidity was 65%. It felt like it was drizzling rain. We still got pretty good fire behavior, but we slowed that thing down. The landowner wouldn't have known how to done it. He went out there one day, lit a match, and probably regretted doing it. Now, if the PBA does it, he's still going to be involved. He's going to help pay for stuff. He's going to bring things to the table, but it'll be planned and executed professionally where we don't blow up his stand. We burned it, and then 6 months later, threw a logging crew out there. They thinned it. The logger was happy. He could see, did a better job of tree selection. But the point is, the PBA is going to help small landowners get their stuff done just like the big boys. All right. So, how can you assist? I'm here for something. That we're not going to make you sign up today, but everybody should be consider being a member, because you're part of something big that can really make an impact, and we need more fire. And think about it, $100, that ain't a big deal, okay? Hey honey, look what I got you for your birthday. I bought you a membership for the PBA, or I bought you a drip torch, or I bought you a blower, or whatever. So, but that's what we're mainly trying to do, encourage people to become sponsors, be members. We want to show up at any venue to make presentations and let you know what we're trying to do. So sponsors and members is a big deal, because when we get more capital, we can do more stuff. Now, we've already got like a big grant. We've got a $57,000 grant for Bradley Murphy Trust. And there's 4 deliverables. We're going to have all 4 completed by probably the end of July, less than a year. And so we thank those guys because they're connecting landowners with foresters, okay, to get more things done. So as we continue to do more grants, we can get more stuff. We can outfit our trailers. We can have the pyro shots and maybe even the drone stuff, some of that kind of gee whiz stuff. But right now, we got to kind of move into this slowly and carefully. So your membership, whether we burn you or not, is really important for you to consider. All right. So I know that was quick, but I didn't want to be in the way between this and a drawing for chainsaws or a Maserati or a Lamborghini or something like that you're giving away. But I will take a few questions until Hayes says we're done. Thank you for your time. Check out Alabama PBA and everything I covered quickly. You can plow through that. Remember, Lee Stuckey and Brigida Giles, they're on the website. They're our coordinators. They can give you more information. You can holler at me. I'm the president of the PBA trying to orchestrate this thing. And we're just starting. We're not, ready to go, full speed yet, but we're going to do things orderly. But once we go, it's going to be a really, an awesome thing to help small landowners. So thank you for your time, and I'll take any questions.